Hello friends, I'm the part-time bartender, and tonight we're making a Sazerac cocktail. I know there's a lot of recipes out there, I know there's a lot of videos out there, but I'm telling you, this is the definitive version of the Sazerac. Stay tuned. This is the channel where we combine the best of the home bar and pro bar to make easy cocktails at home. So the Sazerac cocktail, it's really a great one. It has a great nose to it because it's got the Pernod. It really is a great drink. It balances the sweet and the spiciness of the rye really perfectly. It's got the history of New Orleans in the glass too. So the story begins at the early part of the 19th century. Antoine Peychaud immigrates to New Orleans from the French side of the island of Santo Domingo, where Haiti is now. And there was a slave revolt, and so he moved to New Orleans. And he was a pharmacist, so he opened a pharmacy in the French Quarter at
37 Royal Street.
It's right by Canal Street, if you know the French Quarter. And the thing about pharmacists at the time, they made their own cures, and he made a bitter, Peychaud's bitter. This is now the famous Peychaud's bitter. He invented the formula, and he would combine it with brandies and other things in order to make cures from people. They would come in, they didn't feel well, he would prescribe different cures for them. So that's part of the cocktail. The other part is when Sewell Taylor started importing a cognac from France. Cognac is distilled wine, but a cognac from France, Sazerac de Forge de Fil.
And Taylor.
He used to own what was known as the Merchant Exchange Coffee House. It must have been some kind of trading center where they served cocktails and coffee and all kinds of other things to people trying to cut deals there, you know, businessmen. And when he sold this business, he sold it to somebody, and the somebody renamed the business the Sazerac Coffee House. And the Sazerac cocktail served there was influenced by the Peychaud bitters. They now were bringing in their own brandy, so that was part of the cocktail too, and they had absinthe. And so that was the recipe until the 1870s or so, when there was an influx of phylloxera in France, and it killed all the vineyards. And so the source of the cognac dried up. They no longer had the wine to make the cognac from. And so at that point, they substituted in rye whiskey for the cocktail. So at this point, it's whiskey, the bitters, and still the absinthe. But in the early part of the 20th century, absinthe was outlawed. It has wormwood. It made people go crazy. Van Gogh allegedly drank it, and it affected him not favorably. And so that's where Pastis is born. It's basically has the same licorice flavor as the absinthe, but it does not have wormwood in it. It has other qualities to it too, but it's a different animal. And so that's how the cocktail evolved over time. It became famous throughout New Orleans. My favorite place serves at the Napoleon House. There's a bar in the Fairmont Hotel there, the Sazerac Room. It became really associated with the city. I believe in 2008, the Sazerac was named the cocktail of New Orleans. And that's the history of the drink. But I'm going to show you the definitive way to make it. But first, let me remind you to please hit like and subscribe down below. It's really easy to do. So what you do is you make it in a glass, and it's 2 ounces of the rye whiskey. That we're going to chill down. You give it a good 20 seconds to really chill it and get some dilution. And once you've done that, then you have your chilled glass. I had some ice in here, and I've got my cube. I put the cube in the glass. I put 3 or 4 bitters. I like the bitters, so it really gives the cocktail its great color. And you also give it a nice, before I do anything else, I give it a nice spritz. I do have a mister here, and I have Pernod in there. The Pernod is great because it has this great aromatic quality to it. And then you, with your masher, you break up the cube You get it nice and mixed in there. I have my chilled rye whiskey. Let me say something about that. So it's nice and chilled. I give it a little spin here to incorporate it all nicely. I also think it's really important to use the Old Overholt for rye. I think rye has become really not spicy enough. It's been really muted, and I really love the Old Overholt for this drink. I also like it, the bonded version. It's a little higher alcohol content. So that's how I mix it in. And you can see that it has a beautiful color. It has that pale rose color, I guess it is. One of the great things about a Sazerac is when you're drinking it, and you're drinking it slowly because it's a sipping drink, at the very bottom of the glass, there's some sugar left over that you put in the beginning, but it still hasn't completely been incorporated. And it's really my favorite part because it's little crystals that you kind of chew in your mouth while you're getting the last few sips. And then to finish it, you garnish it with lemon peel. You give it a little, express the oils. And you don't put the peel, by tradition, you don't put the peel into the drink. And it really is delicious. It's a beautiful color. It's really, when you get right down to it, it's a twist on the old fashioned. But the float, or whatever you want to call it, the mist of the Pernod really makes it unique with the Peychaud bitters. It's a delicious cocktail. It's great in the summer, it's great in the winter. You know, share these drinks with your friends and family. They're a great way to bring people together. I'm going to leave you a link here to my other classic cocktails and another great cocktail video. Thank you for tuning in.